All right, fellas, we gotta talk about something. I'm gonna turn my volume up on my mic. Yeah, it's way down. Hold on. Yep. So we got. Hold on. It actually might be going up. Okay, there we go. So yeah, fellas, we gotta talk about something. All right. Um, Ignore the mess in the background. I just got back from a trip. I need to cleanse my room. Um, and I'm kind of sick, so that's why you hear that I'm nasally. Uh, I came back from a trip. For some reason, there's a freaking flu bug going around the entire United States, and of course, when that happens, I gotta be on vacation. That's stupid. How unlucky do I have to be for that to happen? You know what I'm saying? Um, but we're gonna talk about something that's on my mind. All right, and this is a healthy outlet, 100% a healthy outlet. You know, 100%. Um, um, those who know me uh, will at least know me well and in person. They know that I have a freaking ego. And I'll admit it. I have an ego. I'm very if I'm coming off a certain way, it's like I'm coming off blunt, no sugarcoating, no whatever. I have when I say something, I'm saying it with 100%, not even 100%, 200% confidence. Like I have a very strong ego, and part of that is the reason why I'm in positions I'm in my personal life. Um, it's also a reason why certain situations happen in my life. Um, Not necessarily because of actions I take or actions that I do, but certain reactions I have to certain situations um, do not help in any way. in any way. It also does not help that it is in my innate nature to be a freaking troll. All right. For some reason, I like stirring the pot a little bit. Right. I'm going to go tell Susie that Jerry fucked Sally. And, Susie and Jerry are together and, what you have it. I'm not, no, I'm not that type of pot stirrer. But I will go up to your face and be like, "So Susie, you and Jerry, huh?" Yeah, that's just in my nature. Unfortunately, it's it could be a good thing sometimes, and it could be a really bad thing sometimes. Um, and I've unfortunately put myself in bad situations. I like how my camera's all fucked up, but I've put myself in unfortunate and undesirable situations because of it. Um, and sometimes I'm not thinking. Sometimes shit comes out. Sometimes shit happens. Um, and, part of that is, I when I put my mind to something, like I'm going to troll somebody or I'm going to whatever, there's always layers to everything. There's always a fucking meaning about something I do. And sometimes, most of the times, I don't even fucking plan it. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I'm not going out here planting fucking seeds so that way I can have like a fucking 8 layered subliminal diss on somebody. Like, no, that's fucking stupid. Like, I'm not. You know how much time and effort that would have in order to, you know, be a thing. Um, but if there's layers of something that I'm talking about, it's usually just it just happened, or like I just have a gut feeling like I need to do this because it ties into this, and then it somehow ties into 8 other fucking things for some stupid reason. But you guys get the gist, right? Um, I'm not saying this is a good thing, and what I'm trying to articulate here is that I'm kind of trying to grow out of that. Not kind of, I am trying to grow out of that, because and I'll touch on a personal situation a little bit. Not nothing too detailed. It revolves a relationship that I've had in my life. Actually, probably multiple. Now that I think about it, but I'm kind of coming to this realization because sometimes my actions, like it can kind of hurt people, or I can I can come off like a fucking dick. Like I can like no joke. I can like if someone does me wrong one fucking time, I have to let them know about it over and over and over again until it completely has run its course. Like that's not a good thing, guys. That's not a good thing. Um, and I've had couple situations or relationships in my life where the the relationship strained. Not, I mean, probably not because of me. I might have had some responsibility in the cause of certain things, but the initial action, never me. The initial action, never me. But there's a strong but. Everything that follows, I do not make better. All right. So, I had the thing I regret the most in 2025 is that I I spent a lot of time and effort on a particular person, um, that I do still kind of care. I do care about a lot. All right, I care about this person a lot. Um, but it got to a point where this person did something that a lot of people, I would say the 99% of the human populace would agree is an unforgivable action. Um, the problem is I became a fucking dick to this person. Like every single like just innately, um, like any chance I could get to say something, I said something. And it usually wasn't in a direct way either. It was usually a sideways way, I would say it. Um, and is that something, that I look back on and I'm proud of? Not really. This person, um, at the end of the day, at the core, this person is probably one of the best people I've met in my life. It just circumstances, um, didn't allow the relationship to move forward. Um, and that's mostly her fault. Oh fuck, gender reveal. It's mostly their fault. But if there was any semblance or there was any chance of a reconciliation, I fucking tossed that shit out the fucking window, dude. That's long gone. Like, I'm talking about, like, and this ties back to my ego. So, when this action happened, it for some reason, it hit my fucking ego so hard that I had to prove myself over and over again, or I felt the need to prove myself, in different ways. Like I would be like, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to happen, when it's going to unravel, and everything, in between. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to lay out. And most of the time I'm right. Most of the time I am right. Stroking the little ego cock right there. Most of the time I am right. But imagine you're being lectured by somebody that you probably don't really want to have any sort of connection with anymore. Just fucking constantly. Dude, like that, and that's something I kind of reflect on, and I'm like, okay, I was a dick, right? Right? Even if I know I'm right, or if I feel that I am right, um, is it the premise of this video is simple, okay? And the premise of the lesson that I'm trying to teach myself, or at least I'm trying to learn from, you can be fucking right, you can be wrong, you can be the best thing since sliced bread to a particular person. You could be the worst thing to that particular person. All right. But like, at what point are you just being a fucking dead horse? You know what I'm saying? Like what, or at some point, did I lose the plot? Fucking iDubbbz. Just quoted fucking iDubbbz. God damn it. I think after a certain point, I kind of lost the plot a little bit. And if somehow this particular person is watching this video, that I do apologize for those actions. I stand by, I do stand by what I said. But, the way I went about things was 100% wrong. When in reality, in retrospect, the right thing to do in that situation is retard maxing, letting it fucking happen, and just moving on with life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys know what retard maxing is, but that is the fucking best thing I've heard in a long time. It really is. But no, and sometimes I think about if any, and it's not just one person that I've done this to. Kind of in retrospect, I've done this to multiple people in my life, where I get pissed or I get upset about something. I get upset about something, like I get treated a certain way or whatnot, and it's in my nature to just fucking grind and let you fucking hear it, because I know that I'm better. In a certain, like I, not that I know that I'm better, but I have confidence that I am better than what people would like to believe, if that makes sense. And that's the ego I'm talking about. So like, I just got a fucking ego hit, and I'm like, fuck you, hear this shit out, or I'm gonna say this, or I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna let you feel it, and to a certain extent, it's got me as far as I have, and it's probably gonna take me farther, But like I said, at what point do I lose the plot? At what point does that fuel become an unhealthy obsession, right? Um, you know, I don't let go of things like anybody else does. At least that's the way I feel. I feel like, hi cat, how you doing? Um, I feel that I don't let go of things. I legit do not forget a single fucking thing that happens to me. Or, or hi, 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 hi. All right. I don't let things. I. It's not like I let things bother me, but I use it as a tool and crutch. Not want to say crutch. I use this fucking fuel to just fucking set my fucking life on fire and just go and go. And here, the problem I have is I need to let people feel that shit. That's the thing. I have to let people feel it, or like I have to like know that they're feeling it. And is that healthy? Maybe. If it's about me, yeah. If it's about me, it's healthy. If it's about other people, then it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? Um, and like it kind of ties back to some music that I've made recently. A lot of people can make the argument that I'm making music about a particular person. Um, well, yeah, I'm making music about a particular person. Guess who that person is? Me, you fuckers. I'm making it about me, my situations, and my particular mental states at the time. It's and using certain situations or lyrics is just a vessel of that. So if people think that like, oh, this song's about me, well, sure, there might be influences. This shit's not about you. That's the funny thing. It's not. It's not about any particular person other than my mental fucking state. All right. So, um, am I unapologetic? Like, okay. So, do I regret? At the end, do I regret a lot of things that I said and did to certain particular people? Absolutely. I sit and think about, or I sit and think, what would I do if X person called me? What would I say? What would I do? I genuinely don't have a fucking answer because usually I'm so torn. It's like as much as I say fuck this person, at on the other hand, it's like I can't say fuck you. Like if you came to me, even if I said fuck you a million times, the type of person I am, I don't stop caring about people. I fucking like once you get that level of care for me, it doesn't go away. Um, you know, or like, what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's probably a bad thing to a certain extent if I don't boundarize it or put it within boundaries. Um, but it's just kind of like, one, do I ever expect anybody to come back in my life? Or the mental framing I have is, I'm thinking about X person or Y person or Z person or situation or whatnot. Right? I'm thinking about a situation that has long fucking passed. Right? Or I'm thinking about a person that's probably out, fucking 10 dudes. Like, what good does that do me? Um, it doesn't do me any good. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, it doesn't. I'm not, okay, just if a certain particular people are watching and you think I actually think that you're fucking 10 dudes, that was not an actual, like, statement. That was that was just me putting a message out. All right, all right. Um, but the point is, I'm thinking about people that might not be thinking about me in the same way. All right, so and here's the thing though. Here's the thing that I kind of have to live with. They might not be wrong about a certain way they think about me, because, like I said, I turn into an absolute asshole. And part of it's out of care, and part of it is me expressing that I'm hurt and I care, and it's kind of and sometimes that's kind of the way it comes out, is a blunt, like, you need to hear this. Um, Kind of like how this is coming out right now. It's very blunt. It's very just boom, right? But you know, you know, so thinking back, like if any particular person, you know, is like, man, Caleb, is, I'm thinking about Caleb, but you know what? He was a fucking asshole to me. And to be honest, I might deserve that shit. I might. I I probably do. Even if if it's 5 years down the line, and you know everybody has grown into a more mature person, um, or whatnot. Um, I still deserve that tag. Um, you know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have a conversation with the person, because I'm always open to conversation. But if I think it's gonna go anywhere after that, I'm kind of, you know, shooting myself in the foot a little bit, or I'm just holding on to hope that I fucking shot down months ago. You know, like I said, I could be the fucking perfect. I could have been a perfect match for somebody. Somebody could have been a perfect match for me. Something happened. I became a dick. Um, yeah, I deserve that. That's me taking accountability for my actions. Um, and gonna be learning from it. So I've actually gotten a lot better at, one, setting a fucking boundary. Like, you perform a certain action a certain amount of time. I just fucking cut you off at this point. Professionally and personally, right? Um, you know, it took one Here's the funny thing. It was one person for all these lessons. That's the crazy thing about life that I've learned. One person, bunch of lessons. I can cut people off, no fucking problem now. Like, you fuck with me, get the fuck out of my life. Like, bye. Go. See ya. Bye. Here's the door. Leave. And don't come back. Um, Two, I've stopped, like, just holding on to fucking potential. Right? So with this particular person, they could have been better than most of the people their age. And when things were good, they were fucking really good, in my opinion. Things were good, they were really good. But reality told a different story, right? So instead of holding on to a fucking potential and thinking that I can fix, or I can bring out the potential, I just accept reality for what it is, you know. Um, and I encourage you guys to do the same. You got a girl that fucking cheated on you. That's fucking reality, dude. Like, move the fuck on. Like, who cares? All right. Someone's using you for money. Keeps asking you for money. Like, oh, I need to pay this car. Blah blah blah. I'll do this. Blah 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 blah. and they just keep taking and taking and taking. That's fucking reality. You're getting fucking used. All right, if you're just getting fucking, if it's just take, if that's what you feel like, it's just take. You're getting fucking used. You're getting played. All right, and they know that. That's why they keep going back. All right, even if it's for money, sex, drug, like any sort of like transactional relationship, get that shit out of your life ASAP. A fucking sap. Mental instability. You got a crazy chick saying she's gonna kill herself. Bye. Go. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Don't actually make her kill herself, and you get put on a fucking watch list, and you get put in a prison cell because you might have caused the death. But get the fuck out of my life. Like, bye. That is not your responsibility. Right? You are not responsible for the growth or mental well-being of other people. At the end of the day, and I mean, unless you're married, you got a fucking kid or whatnot, you can even argue in certain situations that period, you're not, at the end of the day, you are not responsible for the way other people live. And that's the third lesson that I had to learn, is that, I live a certain lifestyle that a normal 22-year-old, a typical 22-year-old or a typical college student would not live. I can tell you guys that straight up. I have lived a completely different life. I have a different mindset about life. I have just a different view on what it means to be successful. I have a direction. I have a clear direction. I have a clear path. I have a clear goals, and I'm gonna be successful because of it. A lot of people my age don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't. A lot of people older than me don't know what the fuck they're doing. All right. You can't give people a sense of direction or purpose. And that's not your responsibility, right? Your role in someone's life, like if I'm a manager, if I'm a general manager, I'm an owner of a business, and I have somebody who's supposed to be a manager, and they're calling in for XYZ reason, like half their shifts. Okay, cool. That's not my responsibility. You can't perform your fucking job. Get the fuck out of here. Right? I can care about you. I could feel empathetic or sympathetic, whatever fucking word fits, to your situation. But at the end of the day, I can't fix that for you. And it's becoming a problem. So I need you to go. Right? So I have a big heart. I feel like I really have a big heart. But sometimes I need my brain to take over and just be like, get out. Or you just need to just be like, get the fuck out of here. Or this isn't healthy. This is a problem. Sometimes a lot of times in my life, I've just let fucking problems slide because I didn't want to be that guy. And now I'm in positions where if I let problems slide, it affects lives because businesses don't make money and then we don't get paid. And I lose a job or they lose a job or whatnot, So I have a greater sense of responsibility. And I'm in positions where, I can impact someone's fucking life, right? Or I'm in charge of like above and below me, like the owner. If that store does not turn a profit, that hurts the fucking owner, and he loses out on his money. Like that's the other side of the thing. You might think like, oh, he's making money or whatever, blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares? But If he doesn't make money, it affects his livelihood. I lose a job, and I lose opportunities. You know, so being in these positions and going through these situations taught me that if there's a fucking problem, don't let that shit slide. You gotta take action, and you can have a million conversations with people, like if you're talking to your partner, and it's just kind of like, this is a problem, and obviously don't just complain about a fucking problem. Don't come with a solution. That's something I hate as well. Oh, we're out of custard. We're not stocked. Okay, what the fuck are you gonna do about it, right? So don't come with a problem without a solution. All right, first of all, say your partner's like kind of been avoiding you, or misprioritizing, blah blah blah. You feel like, hey, I don't get to spend enough time with you. Okay, or it's a much better and healthier way to be like, hey, I feel like that I'm not being treated right, or I feel like that we don't spend enough time together. Maybe we can do XYZ. Come up with a fucking solution. All right. And if they don't want to change, or if a certain person, this is a broad life thing. If they don't want to change, or they don't want to do something different, bye. Get the fuck out of here. like, bye. You don't tolerate bullshit. And um, just don't tolerate bullshit. And a part of that is you growing older, and part of that is the ego. Like you don't tolerate it. And a part of that is just getting confidence in positions. And the only way you're gonna do that, the only way you're gonna get better at doing that, is you got to put yourself in those situations. And no, first of all, no, surround yourself with people who are successful. Um, don't surround yourself with fucking bums, or people who go out partying all the fucking time, or they have no direction. Surround yourself with people, one, that care about you as a person, right? And they have, you know, some sort of semblance of a life plan, or are successful in life in a certain particular aspect, right? You are who you surround yourself with at the end of the day. If you surround yourself with fucking shitty people, you're going to be a shitty person. That's the reality of the situation. Um, you surround yourself with millionaires, you're probably going to be a millionaire one day. Like, you think I'm being stupid, or you think I'm being dumb or crazy, or unrealistic. This is how life works. This is how the way I've learned life work. I have my friends, right, that are my age, but I spend a lot of time with people who are 10, 20, 30 years older than me, and I talk to a lot of people who are 10, 20, 30 years older than me that have had a lot of life success, a lot of business success, and or have went through a lot of shit in their life. And I'm not too ego driven to the point where they're telling me certain situations, and they're trying to teach me a lesson. Right? If someone's trying to teach you a lesson without you having to learn the lesson yourself the hard way, fucking listen. Don't be a fucking idiot. Listen to the lesson, take it in, actually learn from it, okay? Because those people are trying to help you, right? Um, my lord. But yeah, so surround yourself with good people. Um, don't don't be the type of person that gets fucking blackout drunk and then shows up to work hungover the next day. Don't be that person. All right, don't go show up to work high. Don't don't be that person. Put yourself together well. I know I kind of look like a fucking bum. I need a shower and then go to work. So I need to wrap this up really quick, actually. But at the end of the day, put yourselves in uncomfortable situations, because that's the only situation where you're going to learn and grow. All right, that and I think a lot of young people love to be comfortable, and then they turn into adults that look back and regret their fucking life choices. I've seen it. A lot of them do live satisfactory lives, but and I understand that certain people don't want a certain level of success. A lot of people aren't built for that in reality. All right, but if you're one of those people that want to be super highly successful, or honestly just successful in your own way, like if you just want to have a nice family, couple kids, live a low key life, okay, that still involves a version of success, right? You still need to be financially literate. You need to learn financials. You need to have a job. Like, you need to be a responsible adult, a mature adult. All sorts of things. You still need to have some sort of level of success to even if it's just being a family person, right? And the only way you're gonna get there is you stop being comfortable. Stop being comfortable. Stop running from problems. Stop I'm being serious. Don't be fucking going out all the fucking time. Like, I get it if you want to go out every once in a while, but I know people, especially in college, they'll pay a fucking $50 cover, get fucking blackout drunk, and do the same thing the next day. First of all, you're wasting a bunch of fucking money. Second of all, what are you actually doing? Because your most valuable asset, the number one thing you have in your life, is your time. That's the most valuable thing you have, is your time. And you lose it every second. So be smart about, what time or how you use your time, right? I'm not saying don't drink, don't do this, don't do X, Y, Z. I'm not saying that. There's certain situations where, within moderation, of course. But, my lord, I feel like a lot of young people are so, I get told all the time by older people, I'm so ahead of the curve. And to be honest, I am ahead of the fucking curve. But I feel like a lot of people are behind the curve, and they don't even fucking know it. And I think that's a big problem with people around my age these days, is that they don't understand shit yet. And life's gonna hit them pretty fucking hard. And it's gonna hit them hard. And that's the lesson I need to learn today. Life is just gonna do its thing, and then they're gonna learn their lesson, and then they're gonna look back at me like, man, this guy was kind of right. That kind of strokes my ego a little bit. At the end of the day, I will admit it does stroke my ego a little bit that when that does happen, because it happens every fucking time. I'm being blunt here. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in my life. But I just need to learn to let life run its course, let it do its thing, and just be satisfied with that. Do I need to have the last word and everything? Probably not. But I do need to get to work. It is 10:15. I work at 11. I just wanted to make a quick video and just start rambling. Discussion Post 2 type beat. So check out my music on Spotify. Shit's popping, at least compared to what it is. It's not like popping like fucking 3 million plays, but it's picking up some steam. Yeah, well, fuck it, deuces, motherfuckers.